Hello Taurus, welcome to your tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, and consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. Remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And there's a 7 of discs. Let's put that into some context, all right? We're going to use our Dove and Serpent spread. And as I do this, I would also like to say that if there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments. Okay? All right, finishing up Dove and Serpent spread here. Interesting energy. A lot of very strong energy. Very, very strong energy. Mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. We're going to use the Handel Tarot deck. My wife and daughter just got me this for Father's Day. It's a brand new deck. I have literally just opened it. And we're going to just select one card at random. We're going to put the lizard right on top to keep an eye on it. And we're not going to look at that until the very end of the reading, okay? And hopefully that will, tie everything together and give us the confirmation we need at the end. Okay, so we've got major, 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 major. We've got some air, some earth, some fire, finally ending with a little bit of water. Okay, I think with all this fire, we need a little bit of water at the end to kind of rehydrate, So we're starting with this 7 of discs. You're someone right now in your life, I feel like you're so focused on the work. You are like busting your butt every day, working very hard at something. And honestly, I'm just going to say it. What I think you're working really hard on is starting over with something. You have this energy now that it almost feels like something had taken place where now all of the burden is on you, right? Now you have to do all of this work. I kind of feel like you're doing it alone, okay? But that's fine. That doesn't matter to you. You're going so hard with this. I think maybe you had to start over in a new home. Maybe you're moving. Maybe you have already moved. Maybe you're starting over in a new career. Maybe you're, maybe all your plans died and you have to replant everything. Okay. Now I hope not. Now hopefully that's just a metaphor, not literal. But I feel like you're starting over with something. Okay. And that's a lot of hard work. And that's what you're doing right now, the hard work. And honestly, I feel like the work's going to get harder and harder. At the end, there will come a point soon where you can take a break and get a drink of water. But right now, you got to stay out here and work. You've got to continue doing what you're doing. Continue building this. Because I feel like it was a major kind of redo. It's almost like you're literally starting from scratch with something. Okay? And I don't know if this is a business thing. I kind of feel like there's something financial about it. Here's a 3 of discs. So it may be business. It may just have a rather significant financial component to it. Okay, this could be a relationship ended, you're starting over. It could be that you're moving. It could be that you have had some physical injury or illness and now you kind of have to start over. You have to kind of rebuild things. Okay, I don't know which way it goes. I think it's going to be different for everybody watching. But it's a definite like starting over, redo, starting from scratch kind of vibe here. Okay? And there is this financial component. And I think maybe this was part of your motivation because the 3 of discs, you understand kind of what's at stake in a way, right? You understand that whatever situation you were in was not going to be the most beneficial to you, right? It didn't have your complete wholeness and wellness in mind, right? The three of discs, it's body, it's mind, it's emotion, right? It's body, mind, and soul, or body, spirit, and soul, whatever you want it, the three, however you want to break them down. And I feel like there just wasn't harmony in this previous situation. You know, that maybe one of these three areas of your life, maybe the physical or financial, maybe your emotional situation, maybe your mental health or your mental, stimulation, maybe your spiritual goals weren't being reached, your spiritual life wasn't being supported. I look at the three of discs like a drone. They have the fans spinning underneath them. If one of these fans, now there could be more than three, you could have a really, really fancy drone that's got like 8 or something, maybe 16. But if one of these fans is spinning too fast or too slow, this thing's gonna just fly all over the place and crash, So I feel like this was your past situation there. Something was just a little bit out of whack. It wasn't harmonizing. There wasn't this perfect vibration, perfect resonance. Something wasn't tuned right, And I think that's why, at least one motivating factor for basically you getting the heck out of there, right? Could be a job, could be a career field, could be where you lived, could be a relationship, whatever it is, okay? Down beneath everything, the Seven of Wands, it's not an easy thing to do this. You've had to muster every bit of courage that you're capable of to do this, to start over. This Death card is a serious card here. This isn't a walk in the park, This is a major shift in your life, a major change. It is basically a complete starting over. And you really had to muster the courage. And I think just for that alone, for having this kind of bravery, you should be pretty happy with yourself, pretty proud of yourself for doing this. And I do feel like you're kind of doing it alone. I don't know how much support you have around you right now. Because of the other cards that we see, I feel like maybe you don't have a lot of family around you right now. There's not a lot of kind of friends. You're in maybe a strange place. You don't really know a lot of people. It could be starting over in this new career, this new job, or whatever it is, this new community. It could be a new church, new organization, whatever it is. I feel like you don't know a lot of people, right? And I feel like at times you might get a little overwhelmed and think, how could little old me do all of this? How can I succeed against all of this pressure, all of these odds that seem like they're against me, But you've got that courage, you've got that bravery. This Seven of Wands, even though that central staff is just a kind of, piece of driftwood or something, it's not very strong. It's up against these other 6 very strong, very rigid wands. It's not giving up, It may seem like the underdog, but I'll tell you what, it's going to win every time. It may not have the sheer strength, but it's got other things. It's got the courage. It's got a little bit of luck. It's got a little bit more tact or subtlety, a little bit smarter. It's going to do whatever it has to do to achieve victory, to triumph over whatever these odds are, whatever it is you're up against. You're going to do whatever it takes to win. That's the Seven of Wands. Now, the Two of Swords up above everything, you made this decision and you're sticking to it. You're not letting in any doubt. You're not second-guessing yourself. You have already decided to do this. And I think that's, you kind of have to remind yourself that sometimes, When things are kind of looking a little too challenging, when there's just, it feels like there are just way too many boxes to move. There's just way too much work to do. You have to remind yourself, and this could be the card of a reminder, that You made the decision to get out of here because it wasn't working for you. So whatever challenges you face now, whatever the struggle, whatever this hard work is, it's worth it because you're making the decision to get away from whatever that was. So all of this hard work is worth it. All of this struggle, just being out here in the heat, is going to be worth it. It's already worth it because you've had the courage to get away from this, to make the decision. That's the hardest thing. That was the most difficult step. So you have to remind yourself what you're doing, why you're doing it, and be proud of yourself. You know, do the positive affirmations about this. Reinforce these positive qualities about yourself so that you can continue with this work. Like I said, right now is the time for continuing this work. You're almost there. You've got to keep going. Now, the future is the world or universe card. I feel like you're kind of starting over with this clean slate. You're starting over now. Maybe you don't have a specific plan of exactly what you want to do or where you're going, or maybe you haven't thought that far ahead. But just cleaning the slate is a major accomplishment. And now it's kind of like the world is open to you. Now you can really do anything that you want. You can try different things till you find what really does harmonize, what really does have the right frequencies for you with this 3 of discs. You can get into a better situation, a situation that is more resonant. Okay. And this is also showing me, I know I say that a lot, it's because these cards, they're not just all light, they're not all shadow. Every card in the tarot is kind of a mixture of energies. Okay? So this is the uncertainty of the future. This is that feeling also of kind of being out here in the great wide open and not having a completely solid plan. It's a little daunting. It's a little overwhelming here. So this is something that we have to deal with, and I do feel like you don't have the best support system around you right now, and that's something that we have to work on. And if you have to reach out to people online, people here in the Dove and Serpent community, everyone here is very supportive. Okay, so don't hesitate to leave comments, to reach out, to ask for prayers and for meditation. Ask for some positive energy. Ask for just some reassurance or whatever it is that you need. If you find that you don't have a lot of people around you right now, there is always something that you can do. There is always someone that you can reach out to. Okay? And that, I think, is the message of the universe or world card. You are an essential part of the world, right? You are exactly where you need to be right now, and the universe, the world, will provide for you. It may not feel like it right away. It may not feel like it moment to moment, but there is a lot of love and abundance out in the world, and we just have to kind of ask, and we'll receive it. Okay. Moving to the path of the serpent now. This is where it really gets good. 10 of Wands in your general energy. I think that your work will come to a kind of resting point. Okay? All of this hard work you're doing, this starting over, this rebuilding, this kind of cleaning the slate, this, starting from scratch, you will accomplish it. You will reach a point where you've moved the last box, and now you can just fall down on the couch and sleep or rest or relax or whatever it is. I don't know if you can hear that. My cat is down here yodeling. He wants you to know that even if there's no one else around, he's still here. Anyway, the efforts that you are putting into this, there will be a kind of a resting place. There will be a finish line for now. You know, the long, hot day will finally come to an end and you'll be able to relax a little bit. So the Ten of Wands is saying, look, just keep pushing a little bit more. Keep doing the work. Stay the course. Keep working hard. Eventually, that work is going to pay off and you'll find the resting place. You know, it's not the summit, it's not the finish line per se, it's just it's a place where you can rest for the night, so to speak. Okay. Now what we see in the environment, because if you're someone who is really expending all of their energy to reach this this checkpoint kind of thing, to get the first phase of this done, what is around you is this devil energy. Now, this again, kind of a double-sided card. There's a lot of light, a lot of shadow too. The shadow is being tempted to kind of turn the car around and go back where you started, right? This is the idea that there's something in your environment that's trying to pull you back, trying to lure you back to where you were before, which is kind of like you are going to pack the car back up, turn around and drive back where you were, completely undo everything that you just did, all of this hard work that you just did with the Ten of Wands. Now you've got to just undo it all and go back. So the temptation might be there. You know, this might be someone begging you to come back. Or this might be your own mind saying, hey, you know, we tried, but it's actually better where we were. Maybe we thought the grass was greener over here. It's not. Let's go back. It wasn't so bad. So that's the little devil on your shoulder saying, no, just, you don't want to do this. You want to go back. But this devil is also, has a lot of light to it. Because this is you knowing that after you rest and restore your energy a little bit, and you're completely exhausted now, but you're not losing the will, the drive to keep doing this. Even if you're alone, the goat, kind of a solitary animal, climbs the mountain kind of by itself, just keeps going, just all the way up. Doesn't need a lot of help or a lot of support. So I think that this is talking about your self-reliance. Now, it's good to have a support system. Like I said, reach out to whoever, your friends, your family, wherever they are, the internet, the community here. You know, reach out. But you also are a very self-reliant person. So the fact that you might be kind of out here on the road by yourself is okay. You're not bothered by that. You're not bothered by that. You're perfectly capable of doing this. You don't need anyone to hold your hand, right? Hand-holding is nice. We need people around us. We need a support system. We need interaction and communication. We need love. But that is not absolutely required for you to accomplish this. Okay? And that's what the devil here is reminding you of. Now, next card. Uh-oh, Tower energy. This is what you don't want. This is what you don't want. You don't want a completely chaotic kind of blow up here. You don't want to completely destroy the parts of your life that have been working, right? You're not trying to just completely like bring the system down, right? This rebuilding that you're doing, this starting over, this starting from scratch, this clean slate, does not mean that you are destroying things, right? If your car's not working, well, it doesn't mean that you just go like blow it up, set fire to it, right? We maybe have to kind of start over. We fix it. We try to fix it. We might have to start over with a new car maybe, but we're not trying to like destroy things. It's not like just this release of all this pent up anger and rage, this frustration that could really come out in destructive ways. This is not what we want. All right, so we have to, I feel like, we have to stay in this Two of Swords, Three of Discs kind of thing where we're reminding ourselves what we're doing, why we're doing it. We understand what this past situation was. We understand what wasn't working about it, so that we can remind ourselves why we're doing this, right? Because this Tower energy is really, it feels like a real kind of, like a loss of control, right? It feels like a lack of direction, a lack of resolve. It feels like just kind of letting go and just giving in, you know? But we don't want to do that. We want to continue to build on this new land, this clean slate. So the Tower here is definitely something to be avoided. Something to be avoided. This is also, again, there's kind of light and shadow here. The light of this is that we now understand what the Tower was and how it was restricting us, and how this lack of harmony and lack of resonance, something wasn't being fulfilled in us. We weren't giving enough attention to some part of our life. Something just wasn't resonating, right? Something wasn't tuned in with us. There was disharmony or dysfunction there. We understand that now, and we won't allow this Tower to be built around us again, this kind of restricting, imprisoning structure around us, this situation, this relationship, this work dynamic, whatever it is. So this is what we don't want again. But this is a positive thing, thinking, look, I'm not going to forget what that past life was. Because then, before I know it, these walls will be built up around me again. So this is freedom. This is you escaping from that restriction. And the knowledge that you're not going to let this happen again. This is what we don't want, right? It's in the position of what we don't want. We don't want this prison around us again. We don't want this restriction. Okay? My cat agrees with me. Smart cat. Anyway, the final card on the path of the serpent is the Four of Cups. This is another idea of this kind of checkpoint, resting place, kind of milestone thing. This is like getting a lot of this energy completed. You're kind of over the hump now. And now you can really rest and take your nourishment, take your hydration. You can really start to heal and process things emotionally. Because there wasn't any water here at all. We don't know really how this felt for you. And maybe you've just made the decision, you've been acting, you've been doing the hard work, you've been, moving the furniture and driving and just focused on all of these other things. We haven't yet taken the time to sit and really process the feelings. So we've got a Four of Cups here saying, look, you need to integrate this. You need to be aware of how you felt about it. You need to process these feelings. I think that's very important as the kind of final stage here. You got to focus on the work, get this thing done, get to a safe place, rebuild what you need to get where you're going. But take the time to rehydrate, right? To take care of yourself, to nurture yourself, to process that water energy, process those emotions, right? Otherwise, it could kind of trigger this Tower thing again. We could be stuck in a little bit of a Tower water kind of loop, if we don't fully integrate and process how we felt about all of this, how we're feeling now, and all of that, process all of it. It could be fueling up another Tower situation, or it could be leading to a Tower moment if we neglect that water energy. Okay. Let's go to the mystery card now. I'm very excited for this. The lizard did not tell me what this card was. This is the Handel Tarot deck, and big shout out to my wife and daughter for getting me this new tarot deck for Father's Day. I love it already. I haven't really had much of a chance to use it or work with it, but the images are spectacular. Now, what do we think this is? I would like to see maybe an empress kind of thing, maybe a hermit even, I think would be appropriate. Let's find out what it is. No, it's an Ace of Cups, so it's some water energy for sure. And look at that imagery. That is really special. And the back of the card is really, really delightful too. So, Ace of Cups. This is telling me that all of this work you're doing now is leading to such joy and pleasure and happiness. Such good emotions are going to come through all of this. You're creating a future for yourself that is going to feel really good. It's going to be very special, very fulfilling. It's going to be joyful and blissful. Like this is exactly the kind of life that we all want. We want to be close to the well. We want to have this, the availability of this nourishing spiritual water right there. And we can drink from any time. Okay. So this is you finding that spiritual well, that divine energy, that love and life. This is the kind of perfect outcome. But this is still unmanifest. It's only an ace. It's a one. It's a unity. It hasn't happened yet. But you're creating this opportunity for yourself. Doing all of this work now, what you're producing is a little seed, right? And that's the Ace of Cups, a little seed of joy and pleasure and bliss and happiness, true fulfillment. You still have to plant the seed and grow it, right? But that's the potential that we have here. You're creating the potential. You're allowing yourself now the opportunity. You could be really tilling the soil with this death card, right? Really preparing the soil for this seed of your future happiness that you're going to need to water and nourish, give it sunlight, give it plant food or whatever. It's not guaranteed. It hasn't happened yet. This is not the destination right now that you're kind of driving toward. But where you're going, where you end up, is going to be the perfect soil for you to plant this seed. And the Ace of Cups is just kind of infinite beauty and love and pleasure and joy and bliss and happiness. And I think that this is going to be a big change from where you are, where you have been recently with that the Three of Discs. Now, I still think this could be maybe a business thing, maybe. But whatever you're planting is going to be just, I think, absolutely wonderful. And I do hope that you'll stick around on the channel and keep in touch with us. Continue to watch some readings. Let us know how you're doing. Leave some comments and let me know how you're feeling. Okay. We're going to do an extended, and if you would like to stick around for that, please click on the link right up here. That'll give you access to all of the extended readings for Taurus, but for all of the zodiac signs too. I want to thank you so much for letting me read for you here on Dove and Serpent Tarot.